So what happens is on. So what happens is the episode starts out like this. So they're actually flying to Yavin 4 when Ezra has a vision, much like Luke in episode 5, where he had a vision that his friends were in trouble, and the exact same thing happens to Ezra here. He has a vision that his friends on Lothal, his home world, are in trouble. He sees some guy named Joe, and of course Reider. And what happens is, when they get back to Yavin 4, there actually is a message from Reider from Lothal about something about a new TIE fighter, but apparently it got jumbled up by the Empire, so they didn't get the whole message. And they decide they can send a small fleet, not even a fleet, they can send a very small cell to Planet Lothal. They might be able to send that and get them underneath the radar. They cannot send a whole armada there because it won't be underneath the radar, and Lothal is so patched down by the Empire that they really have no other way in. So they just need a couple volunteers to do this mission. And who are the volunteers going to be? Of course, it's going to be the Ghost crew. So Ezra steps up, and of course, as soon as Ezra steps up, so does the other people of the Ghost crew. And I love Ezra in this episode. He's talking like an adult. He's so different. And I think it's definitely because I've seen his story up to now, but you really see the growth he has from the first season, being just a little kid in the first season. He definitely seems older. He definitely talks like he's older. And he's definitely talking about like his people and all that. It's just fantastic to watch, in my opinion. I really enjoyed that part of the episode. So the only way in is they actually have some leads. So they know a guy, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. He's a big yellow alien, and he's more green than yellow. But he has some business with the Empire, and he's a bounty hunter. So they decide to pay him using some animals. If you remember last season, I think it was last season, apparently there was these little weird alien pig creatures that blow up when they get frightened, and they're very expensive for some reason. I think it's because of their meat, but I'm not certain. So they actually bribe him with a couple of those alien pigs, and he smuggles them onto Planet Lothal. After a little bit of adventure causing some trouble, they end up at Joe's place. But it is not Joe's place anymore. Turns out Joe was executed, and as for the place, it's under Imperial rule. You know, that's terrible. Eventually they get some word out, decide to leave. They have a couple drinks and decide to leave when trouble sparks up again. And then somebody, another friend, an old friend of Ezra's, pops up and, talks to him. He kind of talks them out of the trouble that they were in. And eventually they leave to go find the rest of the rebels on Lothal, which I just love the way they set this up. This was a really, really awesome episode. And then after a bit of an adventure, they actually end up splitting up. And what happens is it's actually Hera and, of course, Kanan alone for like the first time in the series ever. I really, really like the fact that they are setting up a love story for those two, because I really liked Hello Dawn, which was the first book that Hera and what's his name, Kanan, showed up. It was the precursor to Star Wars Rebels, and it's a fantastic book. You guys really should go read that book. It's a great book, and they definitely, it's a adult novel, so it has more adult tones, and I really do enjoy that book. And they're taking a huge risk by putting an adult tone in a little kid show. I wish they did it in earlier seasons. I am very happy that they are taking the risk now. I just feel like this show shouldn't even be on shouldn't even be on Disney Channel XD, especially it's on Disney Channel XD. Just watching that scene, you feel like a kid again, obviously, but it's just the way it's done. It makes you feel very adult-like, you know? It was a very grown-up scene, and I think it was absolutely fantastic that they took that risk. Of course, they didn't kiss. It's not that I want them to kiss, but it's like, oh, really? Just kiss. You know, it's like in Pirates of the Caribbean. Just kiss already, you know what I mean? But it was absolutely fantastic that they actually are going with that in Star Wars Rebels Season 4. And they're definitely going to wrap up that story by the end of Season 4. And I can't wait to see how it actually plays out. But that doesn't last very long because, of course, this is Star Wars Rebels, not Star Wars I'm Falling in Love with You. So they actually get back into the ring, sort of. And what happens after that is they go on somewhat of another adventure through the pipes. I'm not going to go through every single scene. Stormtroopers corner them. They actually climb up out of the pipes following somebody, actually, the rebels spray painted the rebel symbol in the pipes, and all they have to do is follow the symbols to get out. So it's very, very cool the way they set this up. And of course they follow them up and out of the sewers when Reider shows up and saves the day. That's fantastic. And then, while on Reider's ship, they have to come clean and tell Reider that it is just them. They cannot send any other people. And Reider is concerned about this because he doesn't like his chances against this new TIE Fighter. We do not see this TIE Fighter in this episode. The TIE Fighter will be seen, of course, in next episode, and it's very interesting that Reider is scared of this thing. Like, he's super scared of it. I absolutely love the way they're setting this up. You know what's really fantastic about Star Wars Rebels Season 4? And I mean in every single episode so far. Remember, it's going back to back, and they're always having 2 episodes for now on. I don't know how long they're going to be doing this, but it's 2 episode specials. And it feels like a 1 hour long special. It feels like, not so much a movie, but it feels like an hour long special. It doesn't feel like I'm watching 2 episodes back to back. It feels like I'm watching one complete story. And it's just absolutely fantastic, very entertaining to me. I love the fact that they are doing this for Season 4. I cannot wait to see more. And I have not seen Episode 6 yet. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop video making, go watch Episode 6, come back, and review it with you guys. Okay, so let's move on to Episode 6 now. I just got done watching it, and oh my god, I have to watch this a second time. And so far, out of all the 6 episodes that we've seen so far, this is without a doubt my favorite episode. It is fantastic. It is called Flight of the Defender. That's right, this actually has a different name. This isn't part 2 of the first episode of episode 5. But, you know, it felt like it. Watching these 2 episodes back to back, you really get the sense of a full story going on. And it just is absolutely, in my opinion, very, very entertaining. Now, let's talk about episode 6, shall we? Flight of the Defendo. I've been saying this guy's name wrong for the first part. It's called a TIE Defender, not a TIE Fighter. Basically, it's a really cool TIE Fighter. It looks cooler than the original TIE Fighter, in my opinion. It's a really cool ship. It's got, it's armed to the T. It's a TIE Fighter armed to the T. And, unlike a TIE Fighter, it actually has missiles. It has more laser cannons. It actually has a third wing, so it has twice as many laser cannons as a normal TIE Fighter does. And it has a hyperdrive. TIE Fighters do not have hyperdrives, except I believe Vader's TIE Fighter does, because unlike, you know, a normal TIE Fighter, Vader doesn't need a life support system because his suit is his life support system, so they were able to put a hyperdrive on his ship, or at least in Legends. I don't know about canon. This is the first TIE Fighter with a hyperdrive, and that plays a big role in it. So what happens is the Ghost crew splits up, and some of them are on lookout, and Ezra, Sabien, I can't remember the other guy's name, and Reider are actually looking at the base and watching for a ship. A ship flies by, and it is the TIE Defender. It looks awesome. It really does. And then Sabine, after looking at it and getting all other data, mission should be accomplished, but Sabine thinks, you know what? It would be a fantastic idea if they got the computer. I don't know what the actual name of the device that they wanted off of this thing was. It's like a black box for an airplane. It carries all the data of the plane, or at least in this case of the TIE Fighter. It has all of the specs and everything that this TIE Fighter has and everything. So she figures, you know what? She and the gang should go get it. And eventually, Ezra and Sabine go get it, while Reider and the other guy, I don't know why I can't remember his name all of a sudden, they decide to stay on a back, and eventually they go back to base. And of course, Hera and Kanan are actually left alone. I like that. You know, they don't show in this episode, but I like the fact that they're actually spending some time. Unfortunately, they're spending most of their time in this episode worrying about these kids, and for good reason. So what happens is after, you know, and the Lothcats play a huge role in this episode. From the very beginning of this episode, we get this great, fantastic shot of these Lothcats playing in the field, and then they come up behind the rock, and then the rebels come up just with them, and it's absolutely a fantastic shot, and they really like Ezra. And eventually what happens is they follow Ezra, and they actually go and make a mess with the stormtroopers. They distract the stormtroopers so Sabine can get into the TIE Fighter, while Ezra watches for other stormtroopers coming. And then a ship comes. Thrawn is here. That's right. Okay, we've seen Thrawn before, but this is now the first time that we're seeing him in person on Season 4, and he looks... I don't know why, but in this episode, he looks more ferocious and terrifying to me than he has in Season 3. I don't know what it is about him, but him being there just got to me. And then Sabine Wren, after taking out the computer as well as the tracker for the ship, finds out that this thing has a kill switch. They decide to land the thing immediately. They actually accidentally crash land it, and because she knows if they actually tried to fly this out in space, they would hit the kill switch and they would fall to their deaths easily. So then after that, they decide, you know what? Let's take the hyperdrive. It's just big enough to fit their ship, apparently. So they take the hyperdrive, and they actually carry the hyperdrive all the way through the mountains until Ezra keeps seeing this lothcat wolf. I said lothcat wolf. He keeps seeing this lothcat, and then he followed the lothcat to this cave. They hide the hyperdrive there, and then suddenly there's this loth wolf, and I just absolutely love the design of this wolf. It looks absolutely amazing. And of course, if you don't know Dave Filoni has a wolf. He's a wolf fanatic, okay? And he's been trying to pull a wolf in Star Wars forever. He's finally done it, and I just love his design. And it's absolutely awesome, and yet terrifying at the same time. And Ezra doesn't even know what to think of it. No one has seen a loth wolf for hundreds, I think he said 1,000 years or something like that. And then what he does is, he says wolf, Sabien turns around, the wolf breathed on her, she passes out, and the wolf saves him and Ezra by getting on their backs. He doesn't get on their backs. Ezra and Sabien get on her backs. Remember, Sabine's knocked out during this part. They run away, they hide, and eventually he drops them off right in front of where Syndulla and Kanan are about to land, which is absolutely fantastic. But for some reason, Ezra is the only one who can see this wolf. You know? I just love the way this is set up. This makes me feel like a total nerd, and I love it. This is Star Wars. It was absolutely fantastic to see that wolf creature, and that wolf creature is going to play a larger role in this season. I definitely believe that, especially now that we are on Lothal. And, you know, Ezra tells Kanan, and Kanan gives that line that we saw in the trailer. Kanan says that our paths are all leading up to a point. What is that point? We don't know. We're just going to have to see when we get there. I absolutely love that line. That isn't word for word. I think I messed that line up, but that line that he says at the end is absolutely perfect. I loved this episode. This was my favorite episode of the entire season. It had great action. I love the lothcats. They're incredibly adorable. I love the design of the wolf. It was incredible. And that new TIE Fighter, or TIE Defender, was awesome to see. And it's fast, too. It looks awesome. It has its guns to a T. Oh my god, it's armed to a T, guys. It's fantastic looking. I absolutely love this episode. And Thrawn's back. Thrawn's in this episode. And the way he thinks in this episode is just perfect. Let me know down in the comments below if this was your favorite episode like it was for mine. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of episode 5. Anyway, guys, that is my review for both episode 5 and 6. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out. Bye.